hum along with me to that? Just keep those lips nice and closed and hum along to that melody. Many, if not most of you, are already singing in your head lyrics that you know. Just want to speak them for everyone, so if it's new to you, that you can know it, and if you're not remembering, what was that word there? The lyrics to this song are gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. And it is so good to be able to be together, sharing in music like this in person. And of course, my deep longing is for us to follow that joy and open our mouths and sing out, as many of you may also be longing to do. But what we're going to do is do as good as we can, come as close to that as we can safely. And so we're going to vibrate our bodies together, which is actually something that we deeply need to do as humans. And even if we don't open our mouths, we can still receive the great benefits, both spiritual and many proven health benefits of vibrating, singing with our mouths closed, humming. So let's enjoy that together here and gather in the mystery of this hour. Just us humming. Just that last line, Spirit, humming. Well, welcome to our first Vespers service, our first summer Vespers experiment. Thank you all for being a part of this experiment and this celebration of actually coming together to spend time in community, in person, safely, in worship, honoring the sacred and honoring the sacred that we can really sometimes only fully experience when we actually get to feel each other's presence. For some of us, that's really just the key ingredient. So I feel deeply honored to be able to welcome us all into this space tonight, and I'm so grateful to be doing it with James Stewart, the musical director. I'm David Ruffin. I've gotten to be with you all in a couple different ways, sitting with you in the pews and up front and some small group stuff. And so glad to be for the invitation to be with you in this way. And of course, as always, we want to affirm our welcome in the safe context of what we're doing differently here, for people from all backgrounds, people from all identities, race identity, gender expression, whoever you love, wherever you are in your journey, you're welcome here. And that's just such a core part of who we are. And it's something that we're going to be experimenting with tonight is, are there parts of ourselves during this time where we've had to be kind of bracing a little bit, or maybe a lot of it, that we haven't had really the container of welcome, the container of embrace, to be like, it's okay, you can show up. So that's part of the invitation that I want to make to all of us tonight, is just to consider this an opportunity to welcome yourself in that same way that we as Unitarian Universalists aspire to create a world of that kind of welcome for everyone. Speaking of that, I want to take a moment, especially here outdoors in this beautiful setting in our memorial garden here under this beautiful new canopy, to honor this land and to honor the people who call this land home a long time before I did, to honor that this is unceded Abenaki territory. And also as we do that, to honor the tradition of so many First Peoples of prioritizing their relationship with the land and keeping that close connection the way that we Vermonters also really love to do. So I just want to take a moment now for us to welcome, if you will, the land all around us. You can start by just looking around at the beautiful plants and trees close at hand, the grasses under our feet. And let's just take a moment to honor and give thanks for the way we are cradled by our beloved Green Mountains in the east, by Camel's Hump and Mansfield, the White Mountains beyond it, where the sun rises on us each day, and how we are cradled in the west by our beautiful Lake Champlain and all the mountain peaks of the Adirondacks, and how we are nestled beneath the great wide north of Canada and the Arctic and all of the magical beings up there, and the winter that will come back down to us, and that we are here above, honoring to our south that there is terrain that is somehow even hotter than what we're feeling right here, right now. All of the amazing land and beings to our south. And now let's just come back. I want to invite you to return to that welcome to yourself. Maybe it's a moment to close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Since we don't want to miss this really sacred opportunity to be together in the fullest way we can, we want to really arrive. So, yeah, find yourself even a little bit more centered and comfortable in your chair. You feel the ground supporting your feet and the chair supporting your seat. And feel your breath coming into your body. You've been on a long journey. Where are you right now, today? What part of you needs that welcome? What part of you needs this embrace of community? Maybe you can almost feel it in your body. You've heard these words I've read to you by David White before, perhaps. He taught now among the trees and rocks how the discarded is woven into shelter. Learn the way things hidden and unspoken slowly proclaim their voice in the world. Make yourself a door through which to be hospitable, even to the stranger in you. Even to the stranger in you. Let us worship together. Will you join me as you are able and remember them in the chalice lighting words as I light our chalice? We light this chalice flame to remind ourselves of the warmth of community, the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of community. So I want to invite you to rise to your feet. And it's time to celebrate that we're together by greeting each other. But wait, don't move. We really want to take the opportunity to again lean as close to what we would long to do as possible. I was thinking, as I thought of this service, as this beautiful kirtan chant, because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. And I feel like that's what we're trying to do, really all the time these days. So what I want to invite you to do is take some time now to look around and really allow yourself to hold the probably a lot more awkward than the normal kind of coffee hour moment of eye contact with someone, and let yourself land there for a little bit. And if you don't catch someone's eye, you can watch them looking at someone else. But yeah, allow yourself to really take this in and to be taken in your mask in this moment. We often don't really let ourselves feel the fullness of what we're going through. So let's take some time to just arrive with each other. Get back to your seats, folks. Come on. So hard to corral these cats. I was touched to see that my friend, the Reverend Ian Whitemeyer Smith, who shared his thoughts and led worship a couple of Sundays ago, shared the beautiful poem, Praise the Mutilated World. It's been on my heart as well. I wanted to offer it again here as we transition to a time of some gratitude. Try to praise the mutilated world. Remember June's long days and wild strawberries, drops of wine, the dew. The nettles that methodically overgrow the abandoned homesteads of exiles. You must praise the mutilated world. You watched the stylish yachts and ships. One of them had a long trip ahead of it, while salty oblivion awaited others. You've seen the refugees heading nowhere. You've heard the executioners sing joyfully. You should praise the mutilated world. Remember the moments when we were together in a white room and the curtain fluttered. Return in thought to the concert where music flared. You gathered acorns in the park in autumn, and leaves eddied over the earth's scars. Praise the mutilated world, and the gray feather a thrush lost, and the gentle light that strays and vanishes and returns. Words by Adam Zagajewski. So as long as humans have been doing this human thing, it seems that when we've had the wisdom to remember it, we've given thanks to renew our hearts, to reconnect to the gift of life. And while it's harder sometimes to do when we're overwhelmed by a lot of challenge and sorrow and grief, it's especially important to do, all the more then. So wanted to invite that we would warm up this space tonight in our hearts by remembering what those wild strawberries are for each of you, and taking some time even now, just as I'm talking, to connect what's feeding your soul these days, what's bringing you joy in the midst of these times. And then I want to invite, popcorn style, for some sharing. Just maybe it's a word or a few words, no more than a sentence, I think, to really give us a sense of what your joy is, what you're grateful for. And let's respond each time someone says that with, we give thanks. So we'll let James give us this rhythmic, a little bit more rhythm, and sink into our gratitudes. And anybody can kick it off who wants to, but you're going to need to use your pipes. Don't worry, you've got your mask on. thanks.
I'm thankful for the surgeon's hands who replaced my 88-year-old sister's hip today.
We give thanks.
I'm grateful for the delight I'm finding in selecting books to read to my grandsons over Zoom.
We give thanks. Well, for all those many wild strawberries that we so need and are so nourished by in our life, whether we spoke them or not. One more time, let's say, we give thanks. So I want to transition us with another beautiful poem. This is by Mary Oliver, A Dream of Trees. We are going to move towards a time of sharing also our sorrows. And when we do that, and we have been recording this so that we can share this intimate experience with others that would like to participate but couldn't be here, I want to let you know that we will stop the recording during that time and keep the container of what needs to be shared here. But I'm going to read this poem, and I might read it a couple of times, and I want to just invite you to see what hits you. Maybe it's an image, maybe it's an image from the poem, maybe it's an image that comes from somewhere else you don't even know. Maybe it's a word, and we might just voice some of those images and phrases and words that stood out to us. This is A Dream of Trees by Mary Oliver. There is a thing in me that dreamed of trees. A quiet house, some green and modest acres, a little way from every troubling town, a little way from factories, schools, laments. I would have time, I thought, and time to spare with only streams and birds for company, to build out of my life a few wild stanzas. And then it came to me that so was death, a little way away from everywhere. There is a thing in me still dreams of trees, but let it go. Homesick for moderation, half the world's artists shrink or fall away. If any find solution, let him tell it. Meanwhile, I bend my heart towards lamentation, whereas the times implore our true involvement, the blades of every crisis point the way. I would it were not so, but so it is. Whoever made music of a mild day? Just read a few more of the lines, and then I'm going to open it up to what hit you. There is a thing in me that dreamed of trees. A quiet house, some green, a little way from every troubling town, a little way from laments. I would have time, I thought, with only streams and birds for company. And then it came to me that so was death, a little way away from everywhere. Meanwhile, I bend my heart toward lamentation. Whereas the times implore our true involvement, the blades of every crisis point the way. whoever made music of a mild day. So it's partly for you and partly for us. It'd be great to hear you, but don't worry if we don't. Just, it's popcorn. If something struck you, just a line or a word, an image, let's hear it.
Sad because I miss being able to see my children and my grandson. I'm grieving because it's so hard to get together with people and make music and sing.
And I feel that you are bringing us, the wisdom of your share is bringing us into that time. Let's go right to it, of sharing our griefs, sharing what we're traveling with. And as we do, it's this beautiful song that I